Welcome to Lunatics and Legends. We're making content live. This is unscripted live and what is the other thing?
Direct.
Direct.
So we basically were talking about how I get spammed like crazy on Telegram and WhatsApp, and it's always the same formula. It's, oh, hey, Barbara, I got those pictures of you. How were the girls? And then you respond in...
if they say how are the girls, it's way
All right,
too
yeah,
American.
go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we're freestyling, right? Aren't we supposed to interrupt each other? I got to piss you off. So, of course, everybody, including myself, that is witnessing and seeing the growth and the numbers being like what I believe everybody desires, because I do as well. What has been like the main thing you guys think that you've done, to get to this point? Is it the consistency? Was it the...
So Brandon and I kind of talked about this when we first started the podcast, and it was like, the audience is going to forgive you because you're brand new. You don't have to record in 4K. Like, the lighting doesn't have to be perfect. And we kind of discussed it, and I was like, dude, we could be months, if not years ahead of people if we do this the right way. If we come out the gate strong and we launch the right way, looking good content, etc., it will drive them to come watch us. It's aesthetically pleasing. Let's go with this. I have to say, I didn't shit on the idea of the gold and black when we were first talking about it, but you were like, no, I love that look. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I could see that looking good, but wasn't what I was thinking. I think we just go black all the way around. Couldn't be happier that you chose that, because now it's a theme. Now it's, somebody scrolling past and they see the gold and black and they're like, oh yeah, that's Lunatics and Legends.
What's really funny is that I actually, after we got it up,
yeah,
I kind of started to drift away from it and wanted to go all black. And Eddie's like, no, I love it now. It's part of the thing. So
yeah,
I don't have energy on it. Like, I don't like it, because you're right. All the other podcasts have the same wooden slat backgrounds with a picture and a couple of plants and books, and it's all the same generic looking stuff. And this just doesn't look like that. So I'm happy with it now. Like, I kind of like dip back to really liking it.
Yeah. Well, and it's become the brand, right?
I like the color contrast, because of the name. It's like, the first time that I heard it, I was like, Lunatics and Legends, like what? And then I identified with it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. So the black and the gold to me gives me the diversity, like
right.
Which one is the lunatic, which one is the legend,
right?
I mean,
and we don't say, right?
Right.
It's up to the viewer to decide who's a lunatic and who's a legend, or both.
Mm-hmm. Even in the logo.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know which one is the lunatic or which one is the legend. I mean, maybe
right.
The legend is the gold part, I would think, because inspires that resiliency and royalty.
Gold doesn't tarnish, but yet also a lot of legends have been cast in stone as well.
And
yeah,
a lot of stoic figures are known to kind of be more reserved and kind of hang out back in the shadows and not be
shiny. Yeah.
It's I love the opportunity for interpretation based on the person and how they're experiencing the content in the moment.
Right.
True.
So I guess kind of the formula of success that we've seen, and we're not some big timers, but this podcast is still being ran by Brandon and I. Everything that gets done, my girlfriend pitches in. I shouldn't say that. However,
friend of the show,
huge friend of the show, big fan of her. From what I've seen, like, the key to success that from what we've had has largely just been, it's when I find a story that I find interesting, right? Somebody that I know has done a crazy thing, and then I want to talk to him about it. We get clippable moments in because we record for hours, and then we cut it down to, a palatable hour and 20 minutes or so on the long form. However, there are scenes where it's like, oh, that's something that people are going to want to hear.
Right.
And consistency. We post twice a day. We post at 10 a.m. Reels. We post twice a day, 10 a.m. and then 3 p.m. And then we do a 10 plus minute long form Monday through Saturday, and then we post the full content on Sunday at 9 a.m. Like all of the long form comes out at 9 a.m. So we do this to build the consistency, right? We're staying in people's feeds. People are responding to it. So as long as we keep bringing quality content, you know, the lighting, the cameras, the sound, all of that's covered. We don't have to worry about that. We have future-proofed that, right? We have all of the things that we need to continue looking good and sounding good, right? The biggest thing for us now at this point is how to handle the back end, all the office stuff, and where to branch out to. You know, should we start a Patreon? Should we not? Because do we have the time for it? You know, we're launching another company separate of this, Helix Pure, and, you know, that takes up a lot of time as well. And we're rebuilding the website, and the website just dropped. And so our time is the most valuable thing that we have right now because we don't have enough of it. But yet I also have to play this juggling game of like, okay, get all the things posted, make sure that they're, you know, written properly and everything like that. Make sure they're posted at the right time. Make sure I'm not switching the files, you know, make sure like Meta will only allow you to upload long form content if it's under 10 gigabytes. So here I am promising everybody, hey, the Raul Mendez whole story is going to be dropping at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. And I go to upload it and it gets all the way to the end and it's like, hey, file's too large.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not.
It was. But so we ended up having to render it in 1080p. And so I was like, okay, this will be done by 3 p.m. Didn't get done by 3 p.m. I ended up randomly posting it the moment that it finally uploaded at like 5 p.m. And I was like, okay, go. And it did really well. However, you know, there's just a ton of different things that like we get caught up in doing all this and then navigating, you know, 2 different successful launches, right?
Yeah.
So for me right now is wanting to spend the time. I mean, it boils down to we need to hire somebody that knows how to do this stuff, right? Because they're going to do way better than we can. However, also being able to get content acquisition because I need to be out there meeting people. I need to, you know, and people reach out to me in like DMs on Facebook and Instagram, and they're just like, hey, I got this story. And, you know, I kind of suss that out and talk with Brandon about it. And, you know, there's some stories out there that I'm like, I would pay attention to that. I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. But then there's also ones where it's like, cool, call me in 6 months on that.
Right.
Like, because I love what you're doing. You're attempting to build this thing, but you're really just in the planning phase right now.
Well, what I like, what I'm watching happen is that the consistency and the authenticity that I get from watching you guys, it's what keeps me coming back. You know what I mean? And because of the choice of the people that you guys are interviewing and the consistency of the delivery. I know that when I'm scrolling, I see you, I'm going to stop for a few seconds there and check it out. You know what I mean? Do I watch the whole thing? Is this or what's going on? Or am I watching the whole thing on YouTube?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the part of it that is really inspiring to me as I also thriving or, you know, striving to do better on the social media world is to see somebody that has perceivably, you know, like overcome the hurdle, like has gone over the hump, you know, that is in a place now that is just like, not maintenance, you know, but it's just like it is expansion, You know, it's not, you're not pioneering anymore. And that's the part that is motivating, because when you can see something that it starts reaching momentum, everybody wants to be a part of it.
Yeah.
You know, the pioneering sucks. You know, it's like the bell curve, right? The pioneering is like when the bell curve is still flat. And then as soon as that thing starts to go, now it's going, you know, and this is what I feel that you guys are in that place, you know, and the discernment to be able to see like, okay, we are here, and the presence should be like, and now what? You know, like, do we need to hire somebody else or whatever? Well, none of that mattered until you got here.
Right.
And I know so many people that don't even get there because they think that, oh, what am I can't do it alone. I'm going to need to hire somebody. I need support, you know, and is that a lack of conviction in themselves, or is that the lack of conviction into the project? Because I see what you were doing, you're telling me like, you know, like the selection process of the people that you're interviewing is because they're people that the stuff that you want to watch.
Yeah.
You know, and that's awesome, because that to me shows integrity, and not that you're selling out to the algorithm, you know, or, oh, this is trending right now, let's go talk about that.
Yeah.
You know,
and it like, so, you know, I'll do a lot of analysis and stuff like that. And like, here's, you know, the transcripts from the show, what's resonating, etc. And so it's not as though we don't see where the target demographic is. It's not as though we don't see like what conversations are spicy, like get people riled up, etc. Like Brandon was trolling me, messing around, talking about how he hates Tucker Carlson, right? And it was all BS. And in the clip that we posted about that, he literally goes, I really have no energy on it. I just say that because it pisses you off. There was like 30 people on Instagram that were just like, that guy's a douchebag, and like, F that guy, Tucker Carlson's the greatest.
right.
Oh, you smug piece of crap, Tucker Carlson would beat the crap out of you. And that cracks me up, because they're just talking trash. They have no idea that Brandon is 6'4", and how much do you like?
Yeah,
you're a big dude.
Shreds.
And these guys are like, Tucker Carlson himself would be like, no, not a chance. But my whole point is that like these guys were just, they get so triggered on Instagram. Facebook people are just like, yeah, you know, old Tucker was this, and you know, I feel this way about him. And Instagram, they just, shut up, you're stupid.
The second they get triggered on a comment or on a clip, you can see exactly where it happens.
Yeah.
Like this is where they stopped listening. Right here. And the comment is an absolute derivative of it. And it's fantastic. It's like, wow, like, okay, you like Tucker. Awesome. Yeah, cool. But I don't think that anybody needs to be that fired up about Tucker Carlson, maybe about other topics.
Right.
Right.
Well, what's really interesting, you know, is that I really love watching humans and human behaviors and the things that triggers us, you know, and to see like, we are kind of like, what we're sharing today is kind of the behind the scenes of what's going on. You know what I mean?
We're breaking the fourth wall all the time here.
Do it.
Yeah. It's like, we know that if you say certain things and you trigger certain things, you're going to have a certain reaction. Now, all of that is done without compromising your ego or your integrity.
Right.
You know, so because of that, it looks so authentic.
Yeah.
And then people want to fight. Because how can you be so sure about this? You are wrong.
Right.
You know?
And we didn't post that to troll the audience. I just thought it was a really funny exchange between Brandon and I. Mm-hmm. Unbeknownst to me, these people just got fired up. And I told a story that actually happened to me. I was doing my homework, met some dude who was a retiree. We were both smoking outside of a breakfast chain. And it's like 1 a.m. Dude comes out. He's just like, yeah, I just got out of the Air Force. I was like, dude, so did I. Retiree. He's like, I retired as well. And we start chatting, and he's just like, yeah, there is underground tunnels that run from LA to Phoenix. And when they were building those, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you were there? And he's like, no, but I got debriefed on this. And like, he's like, I'm telling you, man, you know, but see you later. And that's it. That was the story. That's all. It was just a throwaway, like, hey, this weird thing happened to me.
Right.
oh my God, the people on Facebook, they're like, that's such a crazy story. I want to hear more about this. And I'm like, I wish I had more. You know, I can go down a rabbit hole that I haven't witnessed. However, you know, I wish I had more of that story. I'd love to have that dude on, right? And then a bunch of people were like, oh, this was from Phil such and such. I don't remember his last name. He told this story. And I'm like, okay, cool, you know? But then you get on Instagram and people are just like, yeah, bullshit. Oh, you guys saw each other's IDs. Never happened. Total cap. And like just running their mouths, right? And there was one guy that got me, and he got me really good because he was like, he said, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he was saying something along the lines of like, you know, I could see this being true, and there's been, you know, historical documents about this. And I was all, damn it, you got me.
You almost had it. You're right there.
No, he like sank the hook and reeled me in. All right, fella, I appreciate you, but you suck.
Yeah.
But it's and I think that it probably has to do with like the age gap of like the average person on Instagram versus the average person on Meta or Facebook rather. You know, and so it's dealing with all of those things. I don't get into my feels about it. Like I said, Brandon and I laugh our asses off when we're reading these comments and just
so fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We've been accused of being lizard people. We've been accused of being Hollywood insider elites, CIA.
How about this? Jewish, not Jewish. Jewish, not Jewish.
Yeah.
Not Jewish, not Jewish. Still not Jewish. Like some of the things that people say are like the Tucker Carlson thing. People like that guy's a filthy, and then like just like whoa,
super anti-Semitic stuff.
Like okay, Instagram, pump the brakes, kids. Like
and
this is all fun. This is fun and games.
There's this vitriol towards Jewish people right now because of all the things going on with Israel, right? And dang, I got something in my eye. They're going to be like, that's a nod to the Illuminati.
That's it.
Yeah, don't do this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what's funny?
Don't do this.
Like this.
It's the 3 6s, yeah.
Do you know what that means in Brazil?
Oh, it's not an Illuminati.
No, in Brazil, this means fuck you.
Oh.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So the funny part, when I was a kid, and I'm watching, you know, Chips on TV with John Baker and Poncharello, you know what I mean?
Amazing.
And they speak Portuguese in Brazil, you know? And then when they're like ambushing somebody and they look across at each other and they go like, you know, everybody.
And you too.
Like, oh!
But yeah, like the things that we've been accused of are absolutely hilarious. And we're clearly working for the CIA.
Friend of the show.
I was about to say we have that on running joke of friend of the show.
Yeah.
When like Asmongold has no freaking idea who we are. Hassan Piker, not friend of the show. You know, you want beef? I mess with him. And it's really funny to us because I tried to tag him in a post and apparently I tagged some other guy named Hassan Piker and just said, want beef? But Brandon I posted something of Brandon going, Bill Gates, friend of the show. Some lady was in the comment section just like, oh, he's a friend of the show, you pieces of crap. Like you're making the frogs gay. And it's just like, we have no idea. Like we've never met these people.
It's beautiful.
You guys are from the CIA. I wish I was from the CIA because then we would definitely be killing it in the algorithms. We would definitely be having the funding that would be required to get in front of people. We'd be flying like crazy guests out here to have conversations, and we don't.
I wonder how much money the CIA would spend to make a studio look like it's like not a lot of money has been spent on it.
Yeah.
Like would they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to make it look like you and I just built this in your living room?
I think Sam Altman would just be on board and build out an AI.
Yeah. Wow.
Like AI that we have no idea exists.
It's very convincing. They've done a great job with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Beep.
This hand has 6 fingers.
Look, no glitches.
I do love that because like a year and a half ago, that's how you could tell if an AI photo was
Right.
fake, is because
Right.
like the AI couldn't figure out fingers and hands, and now all of a sudden that problem's been solved. But
Yeah.
Which brings back to the show, right? Because what I'm getting out of everything that we're talking about is that people are gullible. They believe in anything that we tell them or provoke them with. And now that AI is here, like it's AI is the new, it's photoshopped.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So how amazing is it that, not if you have the discernment of being able to see that the stories are just stories, and in the middle of all of this storytelling, you can make your own. Like you guys have obviously created your own story. This podcast didn't exist before, and none of this, we wouldn't be here if you didn't believe that you created this story, right? Go make your own story. Why are you bitching, complaining, and being a victim about this and that and whatever when you got a camera, you got a phone, you've got friends, and a Wi-Fi connection, and right? I mean,
Well, so believe me, I've fought the urge many times, like on the Tucker Carlson thing, right? On that video, some guy was just like, "You almost had a subscriber until you started going after TC," and like, it was so hard for me to not reply and be like, "Oh no."
is when people make fun of my English, and I goes like, "Oh, how many languages do you speak?"
Right.
Oh, none.
that is
barely.
so American and so French to make fun of somebody's accent. It's like, well, hold on a tick. Like,
Yeah.
wait.
Maybe I'm the outlier because I find like accents to be fascinating things. And I'm always like, hope this isn't annoying. Where are you from?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I love your
It
accent.
works for me great.
Yeah. So, God, we're going off on
ZonHQ.com.
She's like, come on.
friend of the show, actual friend of the
Yeah.
show. I guess back to it, like the ideas of success and where we've come from. Literally started the podcast January 1st, on purpose. Brandon was like, "No, we're not ready." And I'm like, "We're putting out a damn episode January 1st."
And I said, here you go, bud.
Yeah. Post it, I guess. And I knew that it was going to be a bit of a slow burn to get started, right? But Brandon and I talked about that, and I was like, the random thing says like, AI is saying that it's going to take 18 to 24 months before you'd ever think about reaching monetization. I was like, bud, we're ahead of that curve. Like we started with quality cameras and quality mics, like a quality look, an aesthetic that's good. We're months, if not a year ahead of that. And I was like, I think 6 to 8 months is when we're going to start climbing. And, one of my favorite compliments that I've ever received was from Brandon just like a couple weeks ago, where he was just like, dude, every single thing that you've projected between this and like Helix Pure, you've nailed. He goes, you said 6 to 8 months and we should be gaining the traction that we need for monetization. And currently we would be fully monetized on YouTube, or I'm sorry, on Facebook, had it not been for the fact that like Meta and their customer service has just not wanted to help us. Right. And I exchanged over 50 emails yesterday or the day before yesterday with one of their agents. And he's like, "Oh, I keep trying to call your phone, but I can't hear you." And he kept calling and then hanging up. And then you call back and it's like, "You've reached Meta and this is not an incoming call. Bye." They'll call you back. And they don't, right? And the only way that you can you have to be Meta verified and then chat with their AI, and then you have to argue with their AI. Some guy told me there is not a single block on your account. Well, there is.
There's something there. We just
Yeah, but
can't
they couldn't
isolate
figure it out.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that it's from my old company where I posted a flyer for a gun show that had a cartoon revolver on it, and so now they just figured that out and they're like, okay, we're going to pass you on to this team now and hopefully they can get it sorted out.
What's funny is that we make all we've already made all the metrics. We're way past all the metrics necessary.
Well beyond.
It's just one little glitch and
And
can't get hold of them. Can't have a conversation.
And that stuff, man, I can totally relate. You know, like there's so many times that this stuff happens with me too, and like designing a website, you know, or any kind of technical stuff like that. And then it comes to find out that there was exactly that, a form, a pixel that was lost in a page in the back end of whatever that now you're trying to go through, and this is the hookup. So it sucks, right? And I think that that's just the price. I mean, I have spent hours spent talking with tech support from different companies, and they all have like, you know, they miss one step, and it's all because of the questions that weren't asked.
Well, so the big thing is that we have 30 episodes, like 30 long form episodes that we have not uploaded on Meta, right? We uploaded one, the Raul Mendez story, right? And it got 256,000 views, I think, something like that, on long form, right? There is not a single metric that Meta could have that we have not nailed, right? They were like, oh, well, you know, it's from a block from something that you did 4 years ago, and that stays with any account that's attached to your name for the rest of your life. Okay, well, what did I do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about instead, let's get this sorted out. Oh, you know what? We're wrong. It wasn't that. You know what it was? What was it? It was a security thing because you tried to download Meta Business Suite, and when we sent you the code, you copied and pasted that code, and we sent you the wrong code. So we put a security block on your thing. Oh, we'll remove the security block. There's not a security block. Well, then what are you saying it is? Oh, actually, it was from March 4th of this year. What did I do March 4th of this year? Go back, check. There's nothing there. We posted a picture of how many people we ended up watching one of our videos on YouTube or something like that. That's it, right? Meta, I need your help. We're Meta. We don't help. But if you pay for the subscription, I'm paying for the subscription. Okay, chat with our AI bot. Hey, AI bot, what are we doing here? No, you're fine. Well, it doesn't say I'm fine. Where's the problem? You're right. You're not fine. Well, what is it? It's something you posted 3 years ago. Okay. I'm pretty fired up. There's a little bit of energy there because I have spent a lot of time building this thing out, only for a customer service agent, Pedro, to not want to do his job.
The amount of time you spent the last 2 weeks back and forth, waiting for calls, putting other things on hold because you'll get an email from him saying, oh, I'm going to call you right now. And then 2 hours go by and he doesn't call, but you're sitting there waiting for that call because it directly affects the progress of the channel. It's been the fact that you haven't, I don't know, broken that TV. I'm pretty proud of you, bud.
Well, now you say that, we're waiting for the painting from Zahn, so we're going to pull the TV down after this episode. Now everybody's going to think I broke the TV out of rage. No, I mean, but it's true. Like, I've driven around with that laptop, not leaving my side for the last 2 weeks, on some whimsical chance that Meta might call me and go, well, hop on your laptop and fix this. When I left your house the other day, right, I got an email from Meta saying, I'm going to call you in a minute. I turned around the corner from your house and I parked under some shade, and I move the seat back so I don't hit the wheel, right? And I'm opening up the laptop and I'm like, call me any minute. And I waited there for 20 minutes. Then I went to a coffee shop and sat there for 2 hours waiting. Nothing. And then the dude was trolling the hell out of me, called me like 8 times and was like,
And then hung up.
Yeah. And then would like text me, I just can't hear you. And I'm like, then have someone else call me.
You know, what a wonderful first world problem to have. You know,
Zahn, I don't need common sense and logic right now. Okay.
How fortunate are we?
I'm building an empire. All right.
And look how capable you are of problem solving with imaginary people.
You know what? Cut it. Cut the interview. I'm done. I don't need logic and reasoning right now. Okay. I need empathy. I need sympathy.
You are in your feminine energy. I can see it. Let me hold you.
And I need a phone call, Pedro.
I can hold space for you right now.
Is this a safe studio?
Is this a safe space? I feel triggered.
Yeah. It doesn't feel very safe right now.
The veins I know are bulging on the side of my head right now.
Prominent.
Yeah. Do you want to hear a really fucking stupid joke?
Oh, well. Sure.
Okay. So this blonde chick is reading the newspaper and she starts crying. And her boyfriend looks at her and he goes, "What's the matter, babe?" And she goes, "I can't believe this. 2 Brazilian people died skydiving." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she's like weeping, right? And he goes, why is this affecting you so much? And she's like, "I just can't believe that they'd allow all them to do that. Like, why do they keep skydiving? This is ridiculous. This is a problem. It needs to be stopped." And he goes, "Well, I mean, accidents happen all the time." And she goes, "No, you don't get it. Like, this is an epidemic. It needs to be stopped right now." And he goes, "Why are you so committed to this? Like, what's the matter?" And she goes, "Do you know how many a Brazilian is?" Told you it was a stupid joke.
A Brazilian percent. The best thing about being Brazilian is that we invented thongs and waxing. I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah, but why don't the girls do the waxing, but they don't shave their legs? So it's like, hey, we're going to remove the hair here, but we're going to leave it everywhere else.
Are you worried about it?
Clean place.
It's a fair question.
I mean, no, they
it's a
shave.
Fair question.
Actually, they shave their legs up to their knees, and then their thighs normally are unshaved. But there's also like not hairy. You know what I mean? And
hold on. So no. There's no way that I am the odd man out here. Their legs only get hair from the knee down, and then from like the hip flex up. Mm-hmm. Right. So you're saying is that their thighs don't get hairy, so they don't shave.
Yeah.
Release
Girls,
the comment section.
Help me out here.
Release the comment
Post
section.
pictures.
I was going to say, this son of a bitch is going to be like, go to Zon HQ, send pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling shenanigans on that. Yes. I think
we need proof. I need backup. A galera brasileira me ajuda aqui. Manda foto das pernas das mulheres, porque senão esses gringos não acreditam, meu.
He's probably right.
I don't know that I trust that. I don't know that he didn't some super maniacal thing and he's like, "Everybody send pictures to Zon HQ."
I did. I said, everybody send pictures. I told all the Brazilians out there to help me out and send pictures of your girls' legs.
You're going to get Brazilians of messages.
I see what you did there. Love it.
I knew I'd bring it to a giggle. What the fuck were we talking about? Oh, yeah. Pedro from Meta. You want beef?
You want beef?
Did we circle back around to that?
No, it's okay.
Oh, hey, why don't we talk about the little piece of art you've got back there? Because we haven't yet, really.
Ooh.
We haven't spent any time on that. I mean, we're being accused of worshiping Baal, and the creator of that piece of art is sitting with us.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, but he upset me earlier, and I don't want to plug him now. Who? Totally kidding.
I'm like, who?
What did I? But what? Yeah, that's a print, right?
That is. Mm-hmm.
That Zon did. He gifted to us. And I immediately was like, that's going in the studio. We are in we're in the works.
We're in process.
We ordered a commission from you, and I'll be posting it on our story as soon as you give me a viable option of doing that.
I sent you them yesterday.
You sent me a screen recording.
No, baby. I sent you
He was going to call me bitch and stopped.
Yeah. The ones that I texted you, those are straight up downloaded reels.
They look grainy as hell. But anyway, whole thing is he is putting together this fantastic commission we're super excited about. We will be pulling down the TV that we never used for putting the logo on like we said we were going to. And we're going to put the commission right here. However, as a thank you for all, giving us the print and all the things that you've done, giving us interviews, and the first interview got jacked up, and so you came back in and re-recorded with us, actual friend of the show. Really do appreciate you. I was actually introduced to your artwork before I ever met you, and I reached out because you're a freaking wild man. Anybody who knows Zon knows, you're going to get just an experience in meeting you, right?
You do have a reputation, sir.
Yeah. And you did this yard sale of your artwork.
Yeah, it was yard
sale.
Yard
Nice.
sale.
Nice.
Love it.
I get it. However, I was like, wow, this guy's paintings are fantastic. And it to me was I don't want to compare your art to other people's art. However, at the time I was like really diving into like Basquiat, and it has that gritty graffiti feel to it as well. And I was like, holy shit, like this man's art is fantastic. And I didn't even realize that our paths would cross. And I had actually posted your yard sale as like a check this guy's stuff out. This is fantastic. And our stories have intertwined in multiple different ways because one of my like business and life coaches, when she went on her first date with her now husband, was at one of your galleries.
Yeah.
And so unbeknownst to me, you and I become friends, all this, unbeknownst to me, she was talking to me about needing to ship art. And I was like, you should talk to my guy Zahn. Like he does it all the time. I'm sure he has some pointers for you. So I made the introduction to you two, and she ends up finding out that was where our first date was. And then a picture that you had posted of that gallery, there's a silhouette and it's of the two of them on their first date. And she goes, oh my God, I want that painting that was in that picture. And you had already sold it. And you were like, but I have my last print of it. And so she bought that print and gave it to her husband for Christmas. And so like, it's just a crazy story that like, to me, it's like God provided 6 different ways that we were going to end up becoming friends, right? Now we've commissioned one of your paintings to do our logo right here. Super excited about it. We're going to have to do a whole episode about, you know, talking about the painting, what you did when you went through it, you know, etc. And really discuss that. But I've loved your work for years, and my girlfriend about cried when you gave me the print to give to her, and it's on her dresser right now as we speak.
Love it.
And then I gave the other print to her daughter, and she absolutely loves it. So inspired that she painted you a bunch of paintings to have this morning. And I really liked the what did she say? It was Zahn crossing into another realm.
Yeah, it was a portal.
Yeah, portal. Thank you. And something about like exterminating bad spirits. And I was like, that's Zahn. That's definitely Zahn.
Here we are.
But
the cool thing about that painting, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
brother.
You know, like that painting behind you, I did it at a time in my life that I was being challenged to really like grab life by the horns, you know, and to grab life by the horns, you know. And I did a series, like I think I did only like 3 of these bulls. And one of them is in the Netherlands. Another one is in San Diego. And the original of that piece is here somewhere in Phoenix. But the idea that there's a number 8 on the top right-hand corner, and that is the 8 seconds. You know, that's that idea that you have to grab life by the horns, you know, and to win, you just got to last 8 seconds. Every 8 seconds, grab it again. That's it. Is that persistency, is that commitment to that vision, and knowing that it's going to hurt, you're going to get defeated, you're going to get beat up, but as long as you hold on for fucking 8 seconds, you can do it again.
So we don't worship ball at this show. Is that what you're saying?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Comment section.
Is to grab life by the horns and last 8 seconds at a time.
Well, tell them you're saying.
Life is meant to be awesome. That's one of them. That's one. Well, I'll tell you that. Well, I think we talked about that before on the show, but that life was meant to be awesome phrase came to me in a moment that I was going through a really tough time. Actually, I have a lot of those, which, hell yeah. And I was reminded that the path that I would choose next would definitely dictate the outcome of my life, you know. And at that point, a song was playing in the radio that said that life was meant to be awesome. And through a series of events that happened just in that second, it became really clear to me what the next path was going to be, and which brings to the second saying of Zontopia, which is because fuck you. Once that choice is made, there is nothing else that is going to stand in the way. And that because fuck you is not to the naysayers, the haters, to the people, is to that little voice that is inside of our own heads that is planting all the little seeds of doubts and insecurities and things like that. It's questioning. That's the one that we really have to say because fuck you too. Because if we say that to that voice first, it's implied at the rest of the world. And that's what I love about the podcast, is that I feel that authenticity, that you guys are bringing into it and then talking about the things that you're talking about with the courage and consistency of it all. That's why I'm involved in it. That's why I feel part of it, is because it brings me to that place again of being like against the status quo, and we only have to do it 8 seconds at a time. But for those 8 seconds, fucking hold on, because it's going to be a wild ride, baby.
And as far as we go, like, look, 7 months ago, we had nothing, right? We had a dream. 3 weeks ago, we had 430 followers, right? If we covered something like, if society went batshit crazy and decided all of a sudden harming children is okay, I would still be on this microphone saying, I hope someone puts a bullet in your head. Okay? And society can hate me, but it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. So if we lost it all by staying in integrity, cool. End of the day, I'm walking away with integrity. End of the day, I mean, I'm not trying to be Frank Sinatra and say I did it my way, but like the truth is I'm not going to bend the knee. I'm not going to waver to societal standards. I believe in my ethics and my morals, and I stand on that. And if it means that I have to go against the grain, so be it. And I'm not scared to stand out. I'm not scared to stand up to people. I don't care. It's never been scary for me of public opinion or something like that. I don't care. I am authentically myself. I will always be myself. And there is no selling out. We came on we are attempting to build a podcast following. And what did we do last week or a couple weeks ago? Screw Hollywood. I don't want to be a part of it. And I posted a clip about like, we're going to get canceled, and I don't care because I don't. I don't give a shit. If I go back to the baseline that I had at the beginning of the year before we even launched the first episode, cool. I have a beautiful life. I have wild experiences. I don't care.
Well, that reminds me of a book that I'm reading right now called The Man of Zero, that he talks about the detachment from the outcome.
Yeah.
However, in order to be able to earn that capacity to have the detachment from the outcome, what I'm saying is like that is not implied, that you're not attached to the outcome. It needs to be earned. In order for you to be in a place that you can say F you to whoever and you're going to do what you're going to do, is because you went through enough to be able to stand behind that conviction.
Right.
And own it.
The poem, Rudyard Kipling.
Which one?
Look at this guy. Which one?
Yeah.
Say it like
the
guy's got a lot of great content, sir. Like, which one?
I was just reading this poem last night before I retired.
I do talk like that.
I left the library in my home, retired with my pipe. Rudyard Kipling.
I have 2 books in the car. Let me check.
His greatest work really was refined by... anyway, was it once?
Twice. Sometimes
times.
a lady.
Sometimes a lady.
He's Brazilian. He's Brazilian.
That's fair.
I do. I have like some zonisms like that. They're pretty funny.
Rudyard Kipling, freaking, then my son, you are a man. Why am I spacing this right now?
You should ask yourself.
The freaking poem from LS, dude.
Yeah, what's up? You got it wearing the ring. You don't know the poem? I don't.
You're not even wearing the ring.
No, I lost mine.
Where does that show up in the rest of your life?
Everywhere.
No, do you know what I'm talking about, Brandon?
Let's see here.
He's Googling.
Yeah, I'm searching. I don't know. You'll be a man, my son.
You'll be a man, my son. Is it in you now to better hear the truth that you have spoken, twisted up by knaves to become a trap for fools? Like any goddamn. I fucking forgot where I was going with the whole fucking point. Jesus Christ.
Say, like, cool. I like that one. What are we doing
Fucking
with it?
Uncultured swine.
Yeah, I mean,
Heathens.
I was totally gonna bring up the 5 levels of attachment, but that was before.
You killed the momentum.
You did,
Talking
yeah.
about your fucking poem you couldn't even remember.
That
Jesus.
was in the before time.
But what is that
poems
the
are-
actual name of the poem? If.
If
I just remembered it right as he was reading it. Yeah.
is the name.
If. Yes.
If.
And that's the same dude who wrote Jungle Book. Sidebar. The
Jungle
whole
Book with Mowgli.
Hey, you brought that on yourself, bud. You didn't have
It's
to
a
insert
timing thing.
that. You didn't have to insert that. You did. And then the Brazilian got a little bit curious.
The Jungle Book.
With Mowgli? I remember that.
Anyway, so the whole poem is about like detaching from outcome, right? Treating, what does he say? Fuck it. I'm not even going to try and quote it. But where he says basically you're looking at success and failure as the same deception, right? And it's being detached from the outcome. One of my favorite quotes that I tout often is from my buddy Matty B, and it's the way to maximize results is to have zero expectation on the outcome. And like that speaks to a whole different level of being present, right? If you're detached from the outcome, then you're just in the moment. You're living a life, right? You're having an experience. But, and people talk about like if you're depressed, you're fixated on the past. If you're anxious, then you're fixated on the future, right? But if you live in neither one of those, if you just remain whimsical and floaty and enjoy the experience, then you're present, right? And so, and I have to catch myself doing that shit all the time. Like the results that I've been getting with Meta is, not at all what I want, right?
Is that the time that you find yourself whimsical and floaty?
That's kind of what I was just saying is that it's not, right?
So what are you going to do about it?
I check myself
And
before I riggedy wreck myself.
And how can you get floaty, bro?
Well, to be fair, he's actually done a really good job of getting floating. He's called me a couple of times really hot, done a little bit of low vibration, vented some, just got some stuff out, and then right back to the grindstone. So not
And I
necessarily
check in
whimsical,
first.
but
I check
yeah.
in first.
Yeah.
Hey, is it cool if I go low vibe for like 5-10 minutes? And he'll be like, 1 second, let me put on the AirPods so that the kids won't hear. Go ahead. These So, I get it out of my system and then it's like, all right, I'm going to get back to it, man. And there's typically some type of joke and, Brandon talking trash and stuff like that. And then we get back to work. Right. But, no, I do check in with myself. And I even talked with my girlfriend and she was just like, in those moments, because per discussions that you and I have had, you're like, it seems to be that like when you're upset about something on the computer, she ends up freaking out and then she gets in a bad mood and then you guys, aren't seeing eye to eye. And I ended up going to her with that and was just like, hey, when I get upset and I'm frustrated with things, like, how is that triggering you? And she's like, yeah, because I want to support you. I don't know how to help. I end up feeling helpless. And then I feel like a bad girlfriend. And I'm like, you're not at all. And she's like, but like, I want to talk to you and I don't want to interrupt you because I know that you're working 15 hours a day. Like, I don't know when a good time is. And I was like, babe, with the ADHD brain, being on the spectrum, like I have object permanence. I forget people exist. I forget to take care of myself. So I can sit in front of that computer for 15 hours a day and I won't eat because I'm not thinking about it. I'm just hyper fixated on what I'm doing. And I was like, so the best way that you can support me as my partner in life is like, come to me and go, babe, you frustrated? It's time for you to stop, walk away for a little bit. Because I don't think about the things of like what condition I'm in, right? I think on, I have to get this mission completed. And so I'm laser focused on that, sacrificing my health, sacrificing my happiness, all the things. And so we had that discussion and it was like, well, no, I need you to check in. You're not interrupting. You're disrupting a pattern that can become very unhealthy for me.
Interesting. Very interesting. I like that. I mean, I say that interesting for a different reason. I mean, I was thinking about that something earlier when I was coming over here. You know, they were talking about like one of the most important choices we make is the partner that we pick.
Absolutely.
You know, and the people that we have and stuff. And I was thinking about my life and the partners that I had, and I wondered, you know, like, would I be further along in my path if I would have had a partner that believed in me?
Would be a completely different path.
Right? I mean, to me, it's a speculation, right? And then I looked back and I went into like, okay, have I had any partners that was like, fucking Zon, you got it, get it, go? And the answer is no, you know? And then I was like, okay, have I believed to be that person, you know, before to attract such partner? And the answer was no. Or it was like, kinda, you know, not a no. It was like, yeah, I wish, kinda, sure, but not like, fuck yeah, you know? So that's the part of it that became really interesting. And you're saying that because it's not like in the realm that we live in of like this masculinity and masculine energy and leading and providing all of that, you know, it's just, it seems, I have a perception sometimes that to receive help or to ask for help or to accept help, you know, is a form of weakness, you know.
I couldn't disagree with that more.
Yeah, no, because you have the other opposite of this spectrum.
But even, I get where you're coming from, right? I would say do more work on killing your ego, okay? Because look at history's greatest leaders, right? History's most prevalent men that have done things. And you'll find common threads, and one being that they absolutely believed in themselves. And the other is that they absolutely believed in the people that they delegated responsibilities to. These people are like, there's a reason that the president of the United States of America, the leader of the free world, has a cabinet, right? Because you can't do all the things on your own.
Yeah. Then rewinding even more, you know, like I'm going to go on a tangent here.
Go.
So how, like, you know, we're talking about the main leaders of the world, right? The captains, the people that burned the ships, you know,
Sure,
the Marcus Aurelius, the Alexander the Greats, you know, all of these men of the presidents, the people that, you know, the
even
generals,
the bad ones though.
Even
Nero,
the bad ones.
like,
or the guy with the H, you know what I mean? Like
the guy with the mustache?
It was here, right?
Yeah.
It was right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Was it bald there or?
No, I think it was a little bit.
Yeah.
You know that Charlie Chaplin guy?
Yeah, same as
Oh, from the Charlie Chaplin, the great dictator.
Yeah.
Well,
he was an actor like 100 years ago. A lot of people don't know that.
He's also a kid diddler. Go ahead.
He really enjoyed cocaine too. That's you know.
I think that could take a backseat to the fact that he was with children. Go ahead.
Anyway, the point of the extrapolation that I'm going into is that when have we or anyone, you know, have brought up the women of these leaders?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know if there's like who were the queen? You know, who was the queen of the king? Like, did he really have something to do with this guy? You know, did Alexander the Great have like a, you know, some badass wife that freaking empowered him to conquer the world?
Zon, are you trying to say that you don't like or respect women?
No, completely the
Oh,
opposite.
okay.
I think that completely the opposite. I mean, we know that Jesus had Mary Magdalene. That worked.
Well, like,
Like,
and
why
I
isn't
I
that
didn't
not?
read the history on it, but like I loved in the movie 300
Yeah.
where like the main dude, name escapes me, Leonidas, thank you, had his woman, and he's like the epitome of macho, and then his woman was the epitome of femininity, and like, he's feeling some certain way, and she's like,
Get it?
I got you.
Yeah.
You're a man, right? I was actually just having this conversation with my girlfriend the other day, and I was talking about, and let's get past all the Kevin Spacey weird shit. However, in the show House of Cards, just speaking on it as a scene in a show, there was a scene where Kevin Spacey's character, Frank Underwood, yeah. There's a scene in House of Cards where Frank Underwood is defeated, right? And he does all these manipulative things. He's a super powerful man, blah, blah, blah. But he got defeated. He got beat. And his wife, Claire, comes in, and it gets a little bit graphic. However, she starts talking to him about being a man, talking him up. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like,
What is available out there?
but the point to that I'm getting at is that women inherently have these skills about them. Yes, obviously their sexuality, right? But far more than that is their ability to nurture and to nurture the soul, right? So as men, we put on our masks, we go out into the world, we go to war with the world, and we come home and we got cuts and scrapes and stabs and all the things. And I find, for me, the ability to have a powerful woman to nurture my soul when I just had to fight the world is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's very obvious in my family who the matriarchs are. The women who bring peace to their significant
Absolutely.
other, as opposed to chaos. Right?
See,
it's very obvious.
I think I love this because what comes up is like, talking about women empowerment, right? Totally crazy turn here.
Right.
But what if we knew who their wives were? What if, if we knew, like we were as men were empowered to nurture this union, as a covenant of empowerment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't think there is one example in history that said that was like a power couple besides what we just talked about, Leonidas, because we saw it in the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's also a movie. We don't know if that conversation actually happened.
Correct.
Exactly.
But I do like the way that they portrayed that female character.
Yeah.
Was very well done, and the idea of having a support system as opposed to, oh, you're just a dumb man who doesn't understand. Let me help you,
or you just
figure out how to be
Right.
a man and be a
Right.
leader. They omitted all of that. It was this is
It was
I've
masterfully
got you.
crafted for sure. And like for me, the whole thing about it is like in this house, we play to our strengths, right? We recognize what we're good at and we play to those strengths. My girlfriend is a fantastic nurturer. She's a fantastic mother. She homeschools her daughter and she does amazing work. You've seen how brilliant that child is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she keeps a clean house. Like she will not allow us to do a podcast without her coming in and cleaning the studio beforehand. And like you saw, she made me a meal while I was getting prepped for the show this morning. Like that's how she is. And I haven't asked for a single thing. This is how she is. And she is so happy to be a stay-at-home girlfriend and stay-at-home mom, right? But we do big things together. I could not be here if it wasn't for her.
That was the thought, that I had it wasn't like a victim thing. Like, would I be any further if somebody loved me just right? It wasn't
Right.
that, it was like recognizing the path, and seeing like, oh, okay, well, during that race, if I would have used these tires, I could have had more traction, kind of troubleshooting towards the future.
To that, dude, I would have to say, stop viewing it on a linear timeline.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's
And-
not further down the line. It's just a completely different path.
Well, which is also what we're talking about earlier about the podcast, that the podcast is where it is because you had those clear visions from the beginning.
Yeah.
And then those clear visions manifested, and Brandon was like, wow, the timeline was right. And the things did happen. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's what, on that book, The Science of Scaling, that I shared with you guys,
Yeah.
that he talks about like how that a job takes just as long to do as you give time to it.
Yeah.
So if you tell yourself, or the example that he uses in the book, it was about putting the man on the moon. That he said, or Kennedy, right? He was said like, okay, let's go. We're going to have 7 years, to make this happen. And it was a total arbitrary decision, not whatever, the book can
Yeah, the Soviet space race, like
Yeah.
we then had to beat them, so we had to get there before them, so it lit fire under their ass. Yeah.
But, could that be being done in a year, in 5 years, in 6 months?
Right.
So that's what he's talking about, is like being able to weed out all of the bullshit out of the way, the unnecessary things that are going to prevent you from reaching that goal faster. So what you're explaining to me about your relationship, it is that you have this thing in place, this system in place, this symbiotic, relationship that is towards the goal, of getting the company, the meal, the relationship, whatever it is at that level, that it's ideal.
Yeah. I'm also surrendered a lot of the time when something doesn't go my way, and I just go, okay. And then there will be times where I'm not. And my girlfriend literally 2 days ago, dealing with Meta, I was like, oh, why won't he answer? And she just goes, babe, it's not supposed to happen right now. You know that. And I'm like, and I'm super upset, right? Because of all of the energy that I've dedicated to getting Meta to pull their heads out of their asses. And
How did we get back on Meta?
let me finish.
Sorry.
I'm bringing it back.
Not sorry.
I think it's absolutely crucial, if you want to chase this dream, to then have the people in place that are going to check you and put you back on course when you veer off, right?
Anytime either one of us had, just was ready to check out, we didn't quit at the same time. Every time I was deflated, Eddie was like, no, man, check this out. Here's a dopamine hit for you. And I feel like we did a pretty good job of doing that back and forth, because there were times where you were just like, brother, I'm just not the results. Things are not feeling the way that I thought it would, or what having a hard day today, whatever, and just gassing each other up and be like, cool. All right. Also, look what we have done. And, the encouragement to zoom out and look at the whole picture and having someone else in this space to do that has been wildly powerful, because there have definitely been times where I've been like, no, I don't want to edit shit this week.
And to next level it, we also got to a point, like especially now and like within the last few months, where we've both been off on the same day, and we were like, all right, well, at least we got this going for us. And then we start going back into the higher frequencies of communication, and then we're like, oh shit, let's just do it this way.
I mean, lately the audience response has been very helpful.
Yeah.
Because that is a daily dopamine. Hey, people like it.
Yeah.
People want more of it. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good, because I want to keep doing it.
Agreed.
And that's the gold. I feel that to have that daily feedback, from the audience, because there's a consistency in content, that it's awesome. Because I can see how both of your attitudes change whenever you talk about the feedback, the comments.
Yeah.
The comment section, it's fucking gold.
Yeah.
That's where we're almost creating everything for that section.
Yeah. Well, so for me, like, we could say some wild shit on this podcast that would trigger the hell out of people in the comment section. I mean, look at politics, dude. I just have to say F this person to either side.
Yeah.
And there's going to be droves of people agreeing with me and droves of people disagreeing with me. And yet we still attempt to steer away from doing politics, because the whole reason for this podcast at the end of the day is to help people navigate the world, right? It tends to be our target demographic is men, and I understand that, but there's also a lot for women in the content that we create, right? So the whole goal with all of this is to help society do better, right? That's the driver.
Mm-hmm.
Shut it all down tomorrow. If I saved one life, fuck yes, dude. All of that effort to save a life, hell yeah. I'm here for that. To me, turning someone's life around and helping somebody to understand that life can actually be really fun. That's the reason that I love your mantra of life is awesome, right? Because we need to push more of that. More people need to wake up and go, you know what? I don't want to get on a soapbox today and talk about politics and hate people and spill vitriol into the world. Instead, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to compliment people. You know, I want people to stop being miserable. Take some compliments. Be happy. If you're feeling low, go out and compliment people. Tell a dude he has a cool haircut. Tell Zahn, if I didn't know you and I'm in a shitty mood and I'm out somewhere and I see you, I'd be like, bro, I like your glasses. And you're going to light up. Some stranger just validated you, right? But it helps me feel better too, because then I'm putting myself around positive people and giving positive energy. I created a smile in this world that wouldn't have been there before. That's how people should be living. I shouldn't say that's how people should be living their lives.
That's your want for them.
Yes.
That's their want.
I'm not trying to get on a soapbox, but let me climb off this soapbox real quick to say.
The interviews that we do and in that format, that is by far the single strongest reoccurring theme is having that kind of an impact on people. And then the guests often having those moments of, hey, when you feel like you're about to punch out of your timeline, call somebody else. Like,
yeah,
those are the things that continue to come back every time we're in that interview format. Doing these, these conversations, this is a lot of fun and I enjoy this very much. But every time we have a guest in that to do that specifically and those moments come up, it's really in the moment, it's very, very, amazing to be a part of, and then to go back and edit those moments and watch it through and make clean up any sometimes bad words in the moment. It's interesting to feel that expression and that moment again from a different lens, and then to be able to deliver that to people that actually want to hear it.
Yeah,
it's the thing that I've heard. I'm sure you guys heard of it. I think it was Les, that talked about a suicide note that was found. That this man walked from
just one person.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Just that this man walked from Oakland to the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm not that familiar with San Francisco, but I've heard that that's about a 40-minute walk.
Oh, it's much more than a 40-minute walk.
Okay, so and on his suicide note, he said that if one person would smile at him, he wouldn't jump. So obviously no one did in a 40+ minute walk, and he jumped, And I thought about that. I was like, man, what would have been like if he walked by somebody wearing a shirt that said life was meant to be awesome?
Yeah.
Could have that made a difference,
Yeah.
And I shared that story with a very dear friend of mine. And she loved it. She's like, oh, wow, this is great, whatever. And she bought a T-shirt, and she had a T-shirt. And years later, she was diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And the day that she went to get like the harder news, I guess, from her doctor, she went to the hospital wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
And man, that was like such a kind of like a full circle moment, to me, to see like the intention of the creation. It was living its purpose, out in the world. Like she went to the doctor to get her death sentence, and she went wearing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like not only the impact that had to her, but then who else saw that shirt as she's walking through a hospital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those are like the little ripples that I create out in the world, you know, with art, with the messages, with the ideology of everything that I live by, that are delicious. You know, the unknown ripples that are being caused out there because of that one act of kindness, because of that one compliment to the tattoos, you know, whatever that is.
I had a near-death experience, right? I was driving with a trailer attached, was doing like 85. The trailer starts skipping because it was loaded wrong. And all of a sudden I look over and my trailer is sideways traveling with me. And wheels are jumping off the ground. And I'm like, I'm hauling thousands of pounds behind me. I'm toast.
Next
right?
to you now.
Yeah. And in that moment, everything slowed down, right? And they talk about like life flashing before your eyes. And it didn't flash before my eyes, but there was a really surreal, like slow down moment where I was like, okay, this is the end. Like, this is where I'm punching out. And life didn't flash before my eyes, but there was an understanding of the culmination of experiences that I had. And I had the craziest amount of solace and peace in that moment. And it, you know, happened probably about 4 years ago, right? So I was like 38 years old, and I was like, damn, like the experiences that I've had in 38 years are lifetimes for other people, right? I've had a wild ride. And I, in the moment, didn't necessarily love every moment of it. You know, I've taken some big hits. But on the overarching, you know, thumbs up or thumbs down, like, yeah, what a crazy experience this has been, and I've loved it. And it was liberating to have that, because then it was like, wait, I'm still here. I still get a chance to do this experience however the hell I want to do it. And I've largely lived unbridled since then. Nope, I want to do it this way, I'm doing it this way. And so again, we shut this whole thing down tomorrow, whatever. I don't care. We've made an impact, bringing positivity instead of anger and hatred and polarization. Instead, we're attempting to bring people together by listening to people's crazy, wild stories that they've lived through, to show people, hey, look, I know you might be going through something right now, but like, you know, Raul Mendez, you didn't get shot in the head, right?
I was just going to say that. You didn't get shot in the face.
Right. And so, like, there's something there. We've put an impact out into the world. How much it vibrates beyond, you know, this spectrum, I don't know. But I know that we did something. And so to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it gets shut down tomorrow. We did a thing. We've already accomplished it. I want to keep going. I want to keep going for years to come. And we'll see what happens. But I'm surrendered either way. I want for people to live a life like that. Life is meant to be awesome. Go live it. Go be awesome.
And that's what I say was meant to be awesome, because it's a reminder. You know, it is meant to be awesome. Absolutely. And people say, like, why don't you say life is meant to be awesome? Well, just in case you forgot.